Welcome to the Imagine Not Being Leeds.
Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds. Now then, everyone, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. Happy Monday, if that is even a thing. Hope you've all had a good day. Hope you've all got over the emotions of Sunday. I'll let you know if I have in due course, but I'm not too sure I'm quite over it yet. But we'll have a bit of a natter, make it conversational, get your thoughts in and we'll get through them. So yeah, smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. So we're going to go through on this stream rest of the fixtures basically for all four sides sort of facing that relegation battle. Obviously Wolves and Burnley, we still deem are out of it. Crystal Palace, we probably deem are too far in front. So it is just Leeds, Spurs, Forest and West Ham. And I do believe there's going to be a lot of twists and turns before now and the end of the season. Every time we have an opportunity to pull clear and we have a favourable fixture, it doesn't go our way. Lots of reasons for that. Poor selection at times this season. A little bit of lady luck not being on our side as well. And also just some corruption at the highest order and some just fucking goddamn cheating and horrible officiating that has, meant we haven't been able to pull clear in the games. I think we've deserved to. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons, I think, and we'll get into it on this one. Let's see who's in the building. Tezza, as always, thanks for being in, mate. Much appreciated. A little bit of news there, as Tezza always does. Getting seriously fed up with Farker, says Cox. Ooh, am I going to have to defend Farker on this one? Love you, guy. Love you too. South Stanley, how you doing, mate? Hello, everyone. He says, evening, says Top Banana. Hope you're good, my mate. Hey up, ladies and gentlemen. Tickle the likes for our Matty and subscribe, please. Yes, please do so. Dave's at it as always up wind up. Hey up, Gangine, hope you're good. Evening, Ina, hope you're good, my mate. Brentford are 2 up at half time. Is that true, Gavin? Sorry. Yeah, that don't bode well, does it, for the trip to Ellen Road? They're in really good form, aren't they? What's that, 7th in league? I don't know if this makes them go any higher, but I'm not surprised, to be fair, that they'll dispatch Wolves pretty comfortably tonight. And 2 up at half time. Yeah, get a few more and they'll come buoyant, won't they? Evening, Steve. Hope you're good, mate. John Pepper, as always. Evening, Matty, my friend. Evening to my buddy. And Anna says evening to John. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, how you doing, Richard Hogan? Obviously, yesterday, going to touch on yesterday's game. I know there's been, a lot of streams out and a lot of you guys jump on other people's streams. And, you probably already had your say. And maybe you've got it out your system. Maybe you've not. I'm not too sure. Don't know if you feel any better. Let me know if you do. Obviously, a lot of people talking about the officials yesterday. And for me, I do personally think, the decisions of the manager yesterday, Mr. Bramall certainly took that game away from Leeds United. I do want to get to a point, though, guys, where whatever our fate come the end of the season, staying up, which I think we do, or the worst happens and we go down, it's easy to turn around and go, well, there's this and this, in terms of stuff out of our control. And there is, honestly, I'm first to say, come off it. Look at state of that decision. There's been so many times. Last 3 games in a row, City, Sunderland, and then obviously yesterday away at Palace. I think the refereeing's been absolutely atrocious and cost us so many points. But I don't want to get, it shouldn't determine our season. In that first half, Dominic Calvert-Lewin puts that penalty away, and maybe we hold on regardless, in spite of the refereeing. And, at some point, either it's got to start going for us, or at some point we've got to roll the sleeves up and get these points needed to stay in the division. But yes, the last 3 in particular have been horrendously officiated. And, we should have had a penalty against City, should have had a couple of decisions against Sunderland and obviously yesterday. But there's still opportunities to score goals and win points even with poor officials, we've done it in the past, and it even feels like a little bit sweeter when you're playing against 12 men. But I think yesterday when I stepped too far, being down to 10 men away from home against the side in Palace, who I was surprised didn't want to play football, really poor. Possession for possession's sake, not really penetrating us. I mean, that's first time, I think, in Premier League history, or since records began, that aside, for 45 minutes, I've had a new medical advantage and not registered a shot on target. I mean, I'd be a lot more annoyed if I were a Palace fan leaving that stadium yesterday. Thought our fans were superb, as always, away from home. Credit to the club. When the team's not performing in recent years, or when the team's struggling on the pitch, whatever, the fans always bring it. And that's always always brings a wry smile to my face as a Leeds fan when you hear those fans and, they go away up and down country. I know a lot of them myself, and I try and get to some myself too. And, we're just a fantastic support that we give the boys, and not every club has that. So it was nice to hear that. It'd be nice for them to celebrate a goal, but we take a point. And a lot of the rhetoric's been today, watching a few streams, which I don't normally do, to be fair, but I watched a few people today to see what the sort of notion was in the fan base, in the chats and other channels. And it very much were, with the circumstances that presented themselves to us yesterday, a point's a great point. And it could be the difference in staying up or going down to that point. But for me, it does feel like 2 points dropped, a missed opportunity again. What I will say is I looked at the cluster of games of Sunderland, Palace and Brentford and thought 4 from the 9 from the 9 available, that has to be what we target, at least 4 points. We've got 1 so far in that cluster of 3. We have to beat Brentford, and that's going to be something you'll hear me say all week. However many streams or videos I do this week, I don't know. It could be a couple, it could be 20. You know what I'm like. Depends which way it wind's blowing sometimes. But every video I do this week in the lead up to that Brentford game, it's going to be that is a must-win for Leeds United. The games are running out. They've won two games in 14 or something ridiculous. The run we're on, it's starting to look turgid now. We're on a good run, a lot of draws. Now it's not good enough. Drawing away from home, we've got to start winning the home games. The home games have to be 3 points. And we've got some really good home games coming up. And we need to take advantage of that. We can't just keep saying, we've got Wolves and we've got Burnley coming up. Brentford at home's a winnable game, just like Sunderland were. And at some point, as much as I don't think Farke were to blame yesterday, I thought he got the lineup pretty much spot on, exactly what I wanted to see. And I thought at half-time, he did the adjustments what we needed to get us a point. I really do. I think Farke gets massive plaudits from me for yesterday. Sunderland's a different story. He cannot line up against Brentford with the same lineup he did against Sunderland. It has to be something like what we saw against Crystal Palace. Whether it's 2 up top, whether we play 3-4-3, however we do it, something like yesterday has to be the notion going forward in home games. We have to go attack these games and win it on his own. Because no matter what we're thinking and looking at the weekend as a whole, no one gained on us, and that's brilliant. No one gained on us. But there were results there that we didn't expect. Tottenham should have been hammered at Liverpool. They weren't. They get a point. West Ham against City. These sides are, in my opinion, are going to start picking up a few points here and there. Maybe a win here and there. And we need to make sure we're doing that too. And I don't want to get to the end of the season and be like, we're in the Championship because of that refereeing decision against Sunderland, because that Palace sending off. There's enough moments within a season for us to go get them points ourselves. And that's where I am. I'm frustrated. I'm so pissed off. Still pissed off with the refereeing decisions. But at some point, we have to just go, we know we Leeds. It's us against the world. It always has been. No, it's changed. Nothing's changed. It's us against the world. Always has been, always will be. And we thrive on that. And we actually like that as fans. But the last few games, it's hurt. And it's been a hard one to take. The best league in the world, fuck off. Fuck off. This doesn't look or feel like the best league in the world to me. The standard of football, poor, in my opinion. Turgid to watch. And the officials, appalling standard. Appalling standard. 200 grand a year, apparently, these referees are on. 200 grand a year, apparently. Don't deserve to be on 20 quid. They're shocking. Shocking levels of officials. Absolutely shocking. But let's get into some of your comments anyway. Let's have a look. I forgot what's at Brentford Saturday like Wolves are. Yeah, 100%, mate. We've got to go for it. We have to go for it. We can't just stand by and wondering what if. We've got to go for it. Good evening, Matty. Good evening, so hope you're good, my mate. Dan James, evening. All Brentford attack, really dangerous. They're a good side, Brentford. Keith Andrews has surprised us all. He surprised us all how much of a good coach he is. Farkas should have put James on. I'll tell you what, Coxie, yeah, I'll disagree with you on that. And I've seen a few people speak about this. I don't mind it. I do not mind it. If we'd have conceded a goal and we'd have lost 1-0, I'd have been there with you. But we held on. And at that point, on 85 minutes, Coxie, I didn't give a shit if we went and won it. I was so nervous we were going to concede. I was happy with the 0-0 at that point. If we'd have been 11v11, I do think those subs would have been made. And if they wouldn't have, I'd have hammered him for it. But he had to see a 0-0 out at that point. And 85 minutes onwards, that's our vulnerable state where we've conceded so many goals. So I get it. You know, you put James on, or maybe we have an opportunity to score, but maybe we don't. Maybe we don't, and maybe that makes us more vulnerable. So I didn't mind it, Coxie, but I respect your opinion, and I see where you're going with that. Let's have a go. But I think in that moment, when the whole game went against us, and the gods of football were pissing on us from a height, I don't believe we should have made that change, in my opinion, because I feel like it may have been more detrimental to us than good, to be honest. Hey up, Angela. Hey up, Maya. Hope everyone's had a good day. I'm all right, Angela. Love. I hope you have too. Blame Calvert-Lewin shit penalty. Shocking penalty. Shouldn't have been on it to start with. And I've seen a lot of people say it's easy to say that, Matty, when he missed. I was saying it, watch along back. I was saying it as he stepped up to take it. Metche should take it. And I know Metche missed one, but he put the rebound in. Metche's a lot more of a cooler player under pressure than DCL. I don't look at Metche and think he's a confidence player. I actually think Metche's confidence is really high. I think he's a player that actually has an aura about him, does Metche, where he probably thinks he's better than what he is. I genuinely think he believes he's a really, really good player. And I believe he's a really good squad player for us, and he's made a massive difference, got some really important goals. And I firmly believe that would have been another important goal by Lucas Metche that would have got us 3 points. And that would have been Fulham, that would have been Everton, and that would have been Palace. And I think it would have been another 3 points had he put that penalty on the spot and taken it. It's a shame, a massive shame. And what we need to do, I don't think he reads or watches us anyway on here, to be fair, Calvert-Lewin, but I hope it doesn't take him, a couple of weeks to get over. He needs to be straight back on it for Brentford. And what we need to do as fans is hope and pray that he gets a goal against Brentford, because he's going to start, if fit, every game from now to the end of the season. And a fit Calvert-Lewin, a confident Calvert-Lewin, is a difference between, another 3 or 4 goals or not. And I think with 8 to go, is capable of 3 or 4 goals if we're going to play it with strengths. And that lineup yesterday suggests to me that Daniel Farke knows we need to switch it back. We need to go more direct. We need bodies closer to Calvert-Lewin. And whether it were a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1, yeah, whatever the variations that were, because I've seen a lot, and I kind of do think it wasn't a standard 3-5-2. I really don't. I don't think Aronson were just in midfield. I don't think Metche were as high up as Calvert-Lewin. But to see more bodies given the freedom and license to get up with Calvert-Lewin is what we need. And we definitely had that with Aronson and Metche. We've got the worst refs in. It's a shocker. It's an absolute shocker. The same ref did us at Luton as well last season. He were a nightmare there. It's just, it's starting to. I don't know. I've had periods of time in my life where it's not a corruption. They don't hate Leeds that much. They can't do that. It's not. You start to just look at it, don't you? Think it is just pure corruption at this point. And I've seen a lot of people saying they just want Leeds to go down and they want Spurs to stay up. And you see it officiating in the last 3 games, and you think there's maybe something in that. Going to be a very hard day, Luke. Very hard, but we've got to go make it. We've got to go get 3 points. And I know if we don't beat Brentford, there'll be a lot of people saying, yeah, but we've got Wolves and Burnley to come. And I'll just, and what makes you think we'll win them? What makes anyone think we'll win them? We've got to win the game we're in now. Brentford is the next game available. We have to attack it and get 3 points. For me, Brentford's a must-win, guys. It is a must-win. And yes, I understand if we don't win and everybody else around us don't pick up mass points, I understand that Forest and Tottenham play each other, so there will be points in that game to at least one of them, maybe both of them, which is probably what we hope. But if we lose to Brentford, even if everybody else don't win, I'm still going to come out of that more worried than I went in, because at some point we have to take care of our own business and we have to start ticking the games off with a win, not a draw, not a loss. We're going to run out of games eventually. And I do believe we need at least around another 7 or 8 points. It needs to be in and around 40 points, maybe just to feel comfortable. Maybe that's not what we need. But honestly, I do feel like we need another 3 wins, in my opinion. And we've got 9 games to go. What's the odds of winning 1 in 3? 1 every 3 games. Well, 8 games to go, less than that. 3 wins out of 8 games is hard to get when we've had 2 wins in 13. It's going to be tough. That's what we need to do. If we go down, it's on 49, says Cox here. Farkas should have insisted Metche takes it. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to know who decides that. I've heard today that Calvert-Lewin is a penalty taker whenever he's on the pitch. Metchie just does it and I understand that, but for me, I think Metchie's looked the best at it. I think he's a better finisher. I think with ball on the spot, ball on the ground, Metchie's got a better finish. He's a better striker of the ball than DCL. I mean, the way he took the penalty was just so he just dragged it wide. And there was just no need. Keeper went the wrong way, the right way for us, and he dragged it wide. I don't mind if a keeper saves a penalty, even if it's a poorish penalty, but it's on target. I can stomach it, but he's missed 2 this season. 1 blazed over at bar at Wednesday, and 1 dragged wide. And one of them knocks us out. Mex has knocked out at cup so early on in the season. A lot of people weren't asked, but I was. You know what I'm like for cup competitions. That I was fuming at that. And then obviously he drags that one wide, and they're just big moments, big moments. Hi, Matt. I hope you're good. I'm good, Luke. I hope you're good, my mate. Exactly half. You've got a big target. Even in Matt, still fuming about yesterday. Goodmanson's needs to be more savvy, making the challenge so near to half time. And in that part of the pitch. Yeah, not all of. No, I get that. He's got to look at himself a little bit and, was that challenge needed? I don't think it would have. Maybe it would have foul, but I don't think it would have yellow. But I understand where you're coming from there. I don't feel like there were vast danger in that moment. I understand if he beats that player, they're on the counter, they're on the attack. I understand that, but I don't feel like where it was. I didn't feel like we were about to concede a goal. That's for sure. Maybe Goodmanson felt different, but I do feel like it was a shocking decision. And I do understand that footballers, you are going to dive in, you are going to make tackles, but when you're on a yellow card, you have got to be more savvy. Savvy's a good word there, mate. But ultimately, it was the wrong decision to card him. It really was, but he gave the referee a decision to make, and he fucked it. Roger Slicker, how you doing, bud? Farkin needs to draw a line under these last few ref decisions and get back. Yeah, I mean, that's where I am now. I'm probably going to moan about it a few times on here. I'll go back and forth with comments. I'm sure it's going to come up a fair few times. Still annoyed. End of the day, refereeing decisions can determine a result. They can determine a result. But in a moment where Calvert-Lewin put the ball on the spot to take a penalty, there was no the ref could do about that if that shot goes in, and then, we probably hold on to a 1-0 there. So that's the biggest frustration for me, that we still had a massive key moment where no matter what the ref did, we still could have had a goal. But the goals have dried up a little bit now of late. We're not conceding many goals as well, which is good. But I think Jakobio coming in yesterday with the right call. I think he justified his selection. I know there was a hairy moment where we thought he may have got red carded, but there were no in that either for me. Brennan Johnson, 4 fouls. He did. Yeah, mate, it was shocking. Brennan Johnson was shocking. That was a Stonewall second booking. And he did bottle it. He bottled that. I actually think when you summarise it, I think the be-all tackle on Sarr that sort of bust his lip, which wasn't even a tackle, he ran into his shoulder. There was a height difference there that meant it hit his shoulder. That created a bit of a ruckus, did it? And you had both managers getting booked. And then after that, I just think he's totally forgot his book Goodmanson, and he was always going to card the next player to sort of just cool everything down, I think, with him not carding Beal, because Beal were already on a yellow. Shit show. Absolute shit show. Hey up, Steve. Evening, Matty. You heard anything about us signing Stephen Funny from Man City, currently on Watford? Love what you do. I haven't, mate, no. I haven't heard anything on that, pal. I appreciate that, though, Steve. Thank you so much. I love what you do, too. Thank you very much. Whatever it is you do, I love it. I appreciate that, pal. But no, I've not heard out on that, mate. I think, did Mr. Blackburn do a video on that this morning? I haven't watched it, though, but that might be who you were referring to. Whilst in recent games, the refs have made poor decisions against us over the course of the season, we can't use it as an excuse, considering a number of late goals. Yeah, 100%. It's hard to take, and it's hard sometimes. I'm a proper reactive football fan. You'll know that I'm proper reactive. I can't help it. It takes me a little while sometimes to sort of cool down and see wood foot trees, but like, if we go down, you'll be able to look at the season as a whole, and there'll be so many more points we can pick out than refereeing decisions. And they are key moments in games that have cost us. The referee has cost us points, no matter what, 100%. But there's been moments that we've cost ourselves more, the late goals we've conceded, the switching off at key moments. Even like that there, we miss a penalty, and all of a sudden we have a bit of a head fuck, and then, Goodmanson's recorded moments after. And that's down to us as well, scoring 1-0 up at Forest, and then 2 minutes later, being 1-1 and then losing that game 3-1. Been so many moments that he's on us and not on the ref. But right now, the last 3 that have all been games we could have got more points out of. Only 1 point out of those 3 games, even though City were in there is a shocking total, really. And the City game, when you look at the game on a whole, West Ham get a point against them. I think we matched West Ham in terms of how we play. I think we were brilliant against City. I really do. I thought we defended really well. DCL misses a City in that too. It could have been a different story. But 1 point from those 3 games is poor, 2 of them being home games. Brentford now, that's 3 home games in 4. You've got to get another win out of them, boys. You can't be losing to City, Sunderland and Brentford and only picking up a point on road. 3 home games out of that cluster of 4. Got Scum to come. You best believe on form we're on now, we're going to be struggling at Scum. You never know in a derby game, and who knows where my head will be about that, by the time that game comes around. But right now, do we foresee going to Old Trafford and picking out up? I don't. Not right now. Brentford has to be a win. Has to be. It is a draws that will send us down. Brentford must win. It is a must win, Gavin. It is a must win. And like I've said loads of times, the term is the draws have led me down the garden path. So many times I've been like, yeah, sound another point. Wow, that's a good point. Brilliant, brilliant. But all of a sudden, squeaky bum time, and now I'm nervous. Game's running out, an international break on the boot. Yeah, and that's why I think Brentford's also must win, because you've got, a week to dwell on it, or 2 weeks, however long break is, I'm not too sure. But you've got an international break looming. And last thing we want to be doing is, being even worse off, maybe in relegation zone, or, being jumped by a team or two and looking over the shoulders even more while the international break's on. It's an awful place to be. It really is. I think we had it after Forest last time, didn't we? When we got beat 3-1 in the national break, and we just sat there for 2 weeks, just stressed about the whole situation. Let's alleviate a bit of that pressure and go get the points against Brentford, because it's doable. And Brentford are a top side. You've seen that tonight. Boss, say it, bro. Farker keeps the team up or packs his bags. Success isn't built on excuses. No, I agree. If he doesn't stay up, there'll be a few people saying, yeah, but he's best man to get us back up again. But if we get relegated, Farker deserves to be sacked 100%. 100%. There's still a conversation whether you stay with him, after the year if we stay up. And I'll be there. I'll be here for that conversation at the end of the season. But yesterday, I thought he got a lot of it right yesterday, Farker. Had Sarr play acting that cheating. The VA, yeah. We need to be more savvy with that too, mate. We need to be getting it ref's face and in his ear, because apparently you're allowed to do that now. You're allowed to get it ref's face, because that's what all they were doing, waving cards out. That player, I can't pronounce his name for them, who were dancing around behind Goodman, somebody got sent off. Absolute joke. And yeah, we may laugh if that were a Leeds player, but it wasn't a Leeds player, it was a fucking Palace player, and it's just not a good look. Not a good look at all. Coxie. A lot of people are saying that, mate. Leeds will stay up. Officials will try to send us down. Yeah, John, there's a little bit of that. I can't deny that. There's a little bit of that in there, mate. With Spurs playing Forest, we have a great opportunity to open up a good gap. No excuses this Saturday. Yeah, there can't be no excuses. I mean, don't get me wrong. If referee sends 3 of his players off and don't give us 2 Stonewall penalties, then there'll be a few excuses. But yeah, we've got to just take it on ourselves now. And I want to see the similar kind of lineup. Bogle's going to come in for Goodmanson. You'll have James Justin on the left hand side. Heaven forbid there's no more injuries. And yeah, you've got to go for it. We've got to go for it. Yesterday it wasn't on Fark, but I feel like Fark has gone on his Man City 3-5-2 ways of not being proactive in his subs and being safety first and not being positive in his decisions. Yeah, I agree. I think yesterday played into Farker's sort of nature, didn't it? His risk-averse nature. Like, oh, what can I do now to make sure they don't score a goal? Oh, I'll put on my faves, bringing Gruev on, and you kind of look at it, don't you, there, and go, yeah, he's made the right call there to see the game out. It's going to be a turgid second half, which it was. I actually thought with 10 men and defensive lineup, we actually looked more likely to get a goal as well, which was weird. I thought we did all right. Since City away game, we've won 4, drawn 9, lost 5. Winning or drawing 13 out of 18 games is good for another pro. No, it is. It's only 5 losses out of 18, but the draws have caught up with us, haven't they, Steve? The draws have certainly caught up with us now, because a couple, obviously looking at West Ham in particular, all of a sudden they've closed that gap from 9 at one point to 8 to 6, to, down to 3 now, and they look like they'll get out of it, West Ham, for me, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, losing 5 of 18 is brilliant, but only winning 4 in 18 isn't great. The 9 draws, and we know what some of those draws look like. Chelsea, fantastic draw, 2-0 down, 2-2. You take that every day of the week and you're ecstatic. Best game I've been to this season, the best feeling I've gone to coming out of a game. The emotions were so high. I loved every moment of that Chelsea game. Well, not every moment, but the latter end of that game. But then you've got draws like Everton, you've got, losses to Liverpool. Sorry, not Liverpool. Newcastle in the dying moments after being 3-2 up. Just so many missed opportunities. Draw Villa, 90th minute. And I understand the quality normally tells they've got better players than us, you know, they're more established. But there's been some games I'm really kicking myself that we deserved 3 and we got 1. And there's quite a few in those 9 games we've drawn there, isn't there, Steve? There's a good 3 or 4 there. You look at that and go, even if 2 of those draws would have held on and got an extra 4 points out of them, we're almost safe. It's just fine margins are so fine. That's why they're called fine margins. They're just so fine. I heard refs are run around 30k a year in the Prem now. Well, I had the tone 200k, mate, but 30k is too much as well. I don't about 200k. Calvert-Lewin missed a sitter against City at home. Penalty missed. Penalty against Palace. Should have scored against Everton. He's and even earlier in the season, Arthur, he was missing City after City, but he had a really good stint in middle, hadn't he? What? Let's be fair, for a free transfer for him to be sat on 10 goals is great. What I'll say right now is it's mad how form can change your opinion. Go back 5 games and I'm like, wow, he's getting on that plane to World Cup with England. Now I'm not too sure. He's in terms of his goal scoring for Leeds, it's been outstanding for the money he's cost us. I still think he's a valuable player for us, but I'm not as in love with him as I were when he was scoring every week. Do you know? And it were, I don't know. He remaining fit's massive. He's done that all season, really. But he needs to be taking chances when they come to him. And yeah, he's not a clinical striker. He never has been a clinical striker, really. He's a bit of a cluster player, which he's had a cluster of games, what's got his numbers up. But he needs to do better when he's got an opportunity. Like the City opportunity early in game. You can make excuses, can't you? But early in game, a few minutes in, should have scored against City. Fantastic opening. You don't get many of them. That could have been a difference in getting a point. And a penalty, you've got to have better technique taking a penalty. His left foot, his standing foot, ended up at 2-inch from left-hand side of the ball. He almost double kicked it. Just a poor technique to even take a penalty. And for me, his mentality in big moments like that, I'm not too sure. That's why I give it Metcha. But I'm not going to hammer DCL. He's had a great season for us, and we need him. We need him to do well. We need DCL to go get another 2 or 3 goals minimum, really, in these last 8 games. He needs to get his goal scoring boots back. He really does. Palace game, Farker couldn't make a sub. Conditions meant too much risk. I agree. I agree. I don't think he could have brought Dan James on to 1, in my opinion. 11v11, so I'd have been fuming if he didn't, but I'm not too sure. 10v12, which is what it was. Let's be fair. I don't think so either. I think we all agree on that, really. So disgrace of a performance by the referee. We need to get our heads sorted for Brentford. Should be 3 points. Come on, Leeds. I'm not sure about the should, mate, but it could be if we get it right. Needs to be a game we aim to get 3 points. Let's not forget it's squeaky bum time for Fark too. He's managed a team to survive. He hasn't, mate. So it's something he's not done before. He's in uncharted territory, really, and he's usually sat at the foot of the table at this point. But he has got the best squad he's ever had in English football, especially. I'm not too sure about when he was in the Bundesliga, but he's got the best side he's ever had in England. And I think we've got enough, and I'm sure he believes we've got enough too. Penalty. We have 2 Germans on the pitch. One who was guarded missing. Yeah, I mean, it's one of them, innit? When you look at it and think, even Anton Stack, we haven't seen him take a penalty. You'd assume, wouldn't you? So you're probably right. He can score from 90 yards out. He can probably score from, penalty spot. But evening, Matty, how are you doing, Paul Smith? I think Fark did the right calls at the right time. Yeah, I don't think yesterday, for me, you can't give hope to Farker yesterday. I don't know people will, but I honestly don't think you can give anything to Fark yesterday. I think if you give him a pat on the back and say fair play. Fair play, Farker, for getting us a point. And the boys got us a point. I think Ampadu rode on, especially worked the socks off. I thought Ampadu second half without standing at breaking play up and sort of just being that nuisance in the middle of the pitch. I really do. I thought he stepped up massively and showed his captain leadership qualities. But I think if anyone's sort of, aiming jibes at Farker for yesterday, I'm not too sure. I think you've got an agenda there. We can talk about Sunderland at home. Of course, we can talk about that all day. That one on Farker. Poor lineup. Get what you're giving Farker for that, Wasn't brave enough. I think his lineup were brave yesterday. And I think his subs at half-time were the right calls. And ultimately, we got a point, which is what those subs indicated to us as fans we were aiming to get. And he got them. And if Calvert-Lewin hits the back of the net, maybe we get all 3 points. And he gets the plaudits he should be getting, because I don't think he's getting enough for that second half, Farker. Did anyone see Match of the Day last night? I did, Angela. Even Rooney said how bad the ref was. Says a lot, does that, yeah. I think Metcha would have smacked. Yeah, and I know I've seen a few people say, yeah, but it's no proof Metcha would have scored. Well, No, I know, and I know penalties get missed, but in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, he would have been the better one to take it. I don't think he'd have scuffed it wide. That's for sure. He's got a better striking technique of the ball. He hits the ball cleaner than DCL. He really does. He's a better footballer with the ball on the ground than DCL for me. DCL brings a whole different set of weapons to his arsenal. You know, the aerial ability, great in the air. If that's a ball chipped into the penalty spot, I'm probably wanting no one but DCL getting his head on it. But the ball pressure moment on the penalty spot, I'm picking Metchin every day a week. I really am. There you go, Richard. Great minds think alike, pal. Yeah, he did such a poor technique. We did play 3-4-3 yesterday, which probably left us light in midfield. Yeah, maybe. But especially in that second half, I thought the battled so well. You know, there's different ways to get results in football, isn't there? Sometimes, you know, you'll do attractive free-flowing football and you'll get the win. Sometimes you'll be on the wrong side of it. Yesterday was just a dogged performance where you want to see that people give a shit. You want to see that they're good enough to grind a result out when all the world's against them. And you saw that side of the game yesterday. And like I say, it could be a valuable point. It might be a valuable 2 lost. You know, if we go down by a point, I look at that Palace game and go, wow, you really did a number on us there, referee. But you know, it could be a really valuable point, and it keeps, you know, I'm big on momentum. You know, I say a lot, big on momentum in life and in sport. And losing becomes an habit. And you know, I know we beat Norwich, but we'd lost back-to-back games at home. We've stemmed the bleeding a bit there. All the world were against us. And normally for me, that's a game we lose. That's when we lose. That Brennan Johnson toe end that were offside from corner. I mean, let's be fair. He's still on pitch after that second yellow that wasn't a yellow. If that goes in, we are fuming that we lost that game 1-0 and Brennan Johnson's got the assist. Imagine that could have been a whole lot worse. So I'm counting my chickens really and going, we got to, didn't get away one there, but we've got out of one there a lot better than it could have been. Yeah, Gavin, horrendous. Terrible standard for the best league in the world. We've got the worst. 38 points is enough, Matt. Yeah, John, I want to see 40. I want to see 40. I feel like we've done well. We've done enough this season to warrant 40. But John Pepper, I'm not going to argue on you with that one. 38 may well be enough, pal. It may well be enough. You know, at one point I was as low as 35. Might be enough when West Ham were not winning games. You know, a couple of months ago. And then obviously I've been as high as thinking you need 40, maybe 42. And I do think it's slightly coming down again because you're seeing a lot of teams around us not winning. I look at Forest and I don't know how many games they'll win. I really don't. If ref were paid more, would the quality improve? I suspect not. Probably not if it's same people. Why I'm stunned, you're right. Shit, they're well paid between 70 and 148k match fees. Really? So they what, like a basic, and then they get that per game as well. Liverpool, by Liverpool, I mean, Arthur, I'm sure you'll agree with this, mate. I wish Leeds were as shit as Liverpool. I wish we were that shit. But yeah, for Liverpool standards, for a title defence, it's been a poor season. You never know what Liverpool are going to turn up. And yesterday, that first half, they were battering them. And, you know, the next G went up and weren't much higher than what Tottenham's were. Need to drop Aronson now, says Coxie. His energy off the ball is probably going to keep him in there, Coxie, though, innit? And I'm not saying keep him in. I'm not really for or against it, really. I want to see Nonto get minutes. I want to see Dan James get minutes. Maybe Aronson's got to come out to do that, especially if I'd like to see us play a 3-4-3 against Brentford, mate. And I don't mind if that's Metcher on left, Calvert-Lewin in middle, with Nonto or James on right, or Metcher's on bench and you've got James and Nonto left and right at DCL. That's what I want to see for that Brentford game, a 3-4-3. Let's go and fucking attack. Let's go for it. They are winning. They are. Get Winger on your win games. Connor called him Thomas Bramall Lane. Logan says, if we draw and lose all our games, we would have to go through relegation battle again. Yeah, they were, John. They were really bad. 1 win in 8, that is atrocious, says Harry. Can you honestly be happy with that? Farker has to go for it. If he plays 9 defensive plays against Brentford, I'll be like FFS 2, Harry, 100%. He needs to go for it. Home games, with the level of opposition we've got at home, I know Brentford's different. They are a top 10 side this season. But, you know, you look at some of these home games to come, and especially the Wolves game, the Burnley game back-to-back, you look at them and go, that they could be the games that keep us up. They could be the games that seal us our survival, you know, for next season. I would like to see that against Brentford as well, because as good as Brentford are, and I don't know what score is now, I'm behind on chat as always. They were 2-0 up at half time. They may hammer Wolves and come very brash to Ellen Road on the weekend. But it is certainly a game that if we play our best version of football, we can beat Brentford. We can beat Brentford. That's how we need to look at it. Yes, they're good. We give them respect and all that fuck, and I understand, yes, they're a good side. But let's go play our best version of football and let's win the game of football. Let's win it. GD shouldn't be going around, especially on a yellow card. However, the frustration with Brennan Johnson's decision. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, when Brennan Johnson does that tackle, Richard, I'm pretty sure we all think it's a red card. And I think in the moment, I'm thinking sound, red card, back to level playing field, 10v10, and it just didn't come. Now you can't delete. You can't get yellow cards overturned. You can get red cards, I think, if it's a straight red, but because it was a second yellow, you can't do it. Sebastian, hopefully Fark will play to win against Brentford. Yeah, let's hope so. 73 likes, 163 you're watching. Please smash that like button. Really appreciate it. As I always ask, get us up to 100 likes as quick as possible. I'd love that. Much appreciated. You fine folk. You fine folk. Is that, I haven't scored. No, is that right, Richard? Oh, man, that's bad, that, innit? Bad, that. Spurs are going down for sure, says Clem. Yeah, maybe. I agree with that, Coxie. Yeah, I do. I do agree with that. I thought Rodon played really well yesterday. Spurs not won. Yeah, they've not won in 2026, have the Spurs? Do you think that the pressure on the ref to send Beal seconds before Gabby's tackle, mate? Yeah, I do, mate. Well, I don't think it made him think I've got to send Gabby off, because he didn't know we were sending him off, did he? I think it meant the next tackle's getting the yellow. West Ham 1 winning 5. Forest like Leeds, keep drawing. Yeah, they do. But West Ham look the best side down there at the minute, don't they? They look the best side down there at the minute. I think it's time to rest DCL. He's not scoring, and his hold-up play were really poor yesterday. He weren't even winning many headers yesterday. I don't normally try to predict remaining games, but without rose-tinted glasses, starting with a draw against Brentford, I have 3 of us on 41 points and Spurs on 45. Spurs won't get 45 points. No chance, Mike. No chance. No chance they're getting another, 15 points. We are 15th in the form table. The last 10, Villa are 18th, and they play wet spam. It's mad, isn't it? We've just gradually gone down and down and down on that form table, and now we are where we are in the actual table. Next round of fixtures, Spurs at home at Forest. That's massive. You know, if Spurs beat Forest, I expect Spurs to kick on. A great result at Liverpool yesterday. You don't want them to get momentum now. What you need is that keeps a manager in again for another week, and I think he's the wrong manager for Spurs. What we need now really is a draw, or probably West Ham, or Forest to win, in my opinion. Because what you don't want is Tottenham to start picking up results. You really don't want that. So I would rather, if I had to pick a winner, I'd rather pick Forest to win, because I still think Forest have the hardest fixtures, and I still think Forest will lose more than the win. I think I'm predicting Forest to go down as it stands, even if they beat Tottenham. But if Tottenham win, that may sort of start snowballing into them picking up more results, and then who knows? Because you never know with the quality that Forest have, if they could nick a few wins here and there as well. At the minute, they look like a sinking ship to Spurs, and let's hope that draw at Anfield doesn't spur them on to bigger and better things. Oh, wow. Hold on, just read this. Just calm down, Matty. We will beat Brentford. Everything will be rose. Let's hope so. So, Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa again. Thanks so much, buddy. Wow. Thanks for your super chat, mate. Really appreciate that, man. Hello, Matty. Really frustrated that DCL missed the penalty. Metcha, I think he's a better, but too late now. Also, I thought DCL should have been the one to be subbed, because Metcha scared them with speed. We need 8 points at Ellen Road, MOT. Yeah, I agree with all that, Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa. Thanks so much, buddy, for that. Honestly, legend. I hope you're well over there in Bahrain, buddy. Yeah, I think I was saying on my watch on, buddy, if you're going to take either of them two off up top, it would have been Calvert-Lewin in that game for me. He never seems like he's going to do that, because there's always this notion that he holds the ball up better than Metcha, which I think he does on the whole. I think he's a better player at doing that, but I don't think he did that yesterday. And there were a moment yesterday, wasn't there, where Metcha, the ball got played down the right-hand side, and he turned the defender and he got in behind. They were driving into the box, and I thought they were struggling at times when the ball was on the deck to sort of contain Metcha, and I think he was more threatening. He looked more threatening. And like I say, I think he'd have scored the goal 100%. So actually, out of the two, mate, I'd have definitely stuck with Metcher over Calvert-Lewin yesterday. I thought Metcher, again, did himself no harm at all. And I think every time Metcher's come into the side, I don't think there's been many games. You know, in the games where he's looked fairly off it, he's come up with a clutch moment and got us a goal. And I think in the other games, he's looked fairly threatening and puts himself around. And I don't think he's got the weight of Leeds United on his shoulders like a Calvert-Lewin probably has. I think he's a bit more weight on Calvert-Lewin, bigger name and stuff. I think Metcher's been able to go about his business a little bit quietly because not many people... I think the bar for Calvert-Lewin, even though a lot of people didn't want him, is a lot higher than what people had for Metcher. Metcher, the free signing, come over from Germany, come through City Academy, haven't really done much over here, didn't really know much about him. The bar was set lower for Metcher. The bar were higher for Calvert-Lewin. I actually think with him only been maybe 2 or 3 goals between him, I think Metcher's probably now in a position where you look at him and go, maybe he's had a better season than Calvert-Lewin, potentially. You know, he's only, what's he on, 7 goals? Calvert-Lewin's on 10. And I'm not throwing bucket Calvert-Lewin here because he's been outstanding this season, but he needs to get his form back in. He needs to get his form back up. But I do think Metcher's got a big part to play this season too, between now and end of the season. I would back Metcher to get a couple more goals. Unreal, innit? Unreal, Boss Nass. Yeah, echo that too, mate. Oh, Paul as well. Thanks again for your super chat, mate. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Calvert-Lewin scores penalty, looking good. Farker has better players than Fulham, Sunderland, and Palace. So why are they above us? I don't think he has better players than Fulham. Palace and Sunderland. I don't know, Lloyd. You know, I don't know. I don't know if we have. I think we've got better players than Wolves. I think we've got better players than Burnley. I think when you look at everybody else, Lloyd, I'll be honest with you. I think I'm happy with the squad. I think we've got a good squad, but I don't agree. We've got a better squad than Fulham, Sunderland, and Palace. I think we're in and amongst it. I think Fulham have got the better out of those 3. Genuinely, I'm not too sure, mate. It's opinions, Lloyd. It's opinions, and don't get me wrong. I think we've got a good squad, so maybe you could be right with that, but I'm not too sure. I'd say we've got better players in all 3 of them sides. I think we've got one of the worst squads in the division, but the squad quality, it's high. We're in the Premier League, but I'm still really happy with the side. You know, I think we've got a decent side, and you know, I don't think we've been one of the 3 worst sides in the league. I don't, but I think I aren't too sure we've got better players in those sides. But that's just my opinion, mate. And you know, don't listen to me, pal. But he jellyhead over here. Apart from the set piece goons, I don't think we should fear anyone, but we have to be positive and go out to outscore the opponent. Yeah, of course we do, mate. That's what I want to see now. And I think if we do that, we'll get enough points. I think if we put a defensive side out there and hope and pray something's going to come from it, I think we may be in trouble. You know, I really do. I think Farker's outlook's got to be similar to his lineup for what we saw at Palace. If we lose against Brentford, I want Farker sacked because anyone could keep Leeds up from here apart from him. Yeah, I don't think he'll get sacked regardless, and I certainly wouldn't want him sacked against Brentford because likelihood is we'll still be outside bottom 3. But easy, I'm right there with you, mate. He needs to get it right. He needs to get it right. We lose to Brentford, the heat turns up on Farker, but there's only 7 games left, and I don't want to end up with another Sam Allardyce issue where you're bringing in someone till end of season who we probably know isn't going to be here next season, and all of a sudden you're in that predicament a little bit like Spurs now, and no one's really... People are asked because they haven't got something they can buy into. Right now, there's still something you can buy into with Farker. It's a 3-year relationship there. And the boys will want to stay up for club for themselves and also for Farker because there's a relationship there. But yeah, the conversation comes after the season. But right now, I think we've all just got to be united. And if we lose to Brentford and Farker plays a defensive side easy, I'll come on here and I'll dig him out. But I probably still don't want him sacked because I just start short of sacking is what Leeds need right now. Hi, mate. We tend to do things the hard way. Dilip. It's Leeds, mate. It's Leeds. We're Leeds. It's what we do. It's what we do. Grey hairs, it's what we do. Nigel, how you doing, my friend? Evening, Matty. Watch first half, Brentford v Wolves. It's going to be tough against them Saturday. They're playing with freedom and pace. Yeah, and they're winning away from home as well. They're 10th in the away form. They're a great team. What he's done to that side is nothing short of sensational. They lose the best players. They bring in a coach that we think is laughable. I actually think I tipped him to be down 8 relegation zone. I'm pretty sure. And look what they're doing. What do we know? You're welcome, my mate. You're welcome. Wolves and Burnley at home be tough. That's where I'm coming from now, Gavin. They will want to 100%. I look at them games, and they're the games we should be targeting 6 points. But the way things are going at the minute, Gavin, it's not a guarantee, pal. It's not a guarantee. I'm not a betting man, but I'm assuming it's hard to win money on accumulators these days because look at teams, top, bottom, don't matter where you are, this team's playing for something, and it's hard to predict. It's so hard to predict. Hey up, Lee. Those Palace players were total scum for the celebrations. Yeah, I agree. I agree, mate. It was shocking. Then Upton 2. Hey, mate. Nothing on Farke yesterday. Set up as well. Set us up well. Penn missed, did screw us, but there's an argument. Even if we scored, we'd have put Gruev on and gone defensive. We've had eventually. Yeah, maybe. And that was my concern as well, looking at, especially at 0-0, thinking we're going to retreat, we're going to sit back here and hold on to that point, and we're probably going to lose it in that last 5 minutes. That's why I don't agree with bringing on a winger at that point. But yeah, I mean, if we'd have gone 1-0 up, we probably would have retreated. But looking, we held it with 10 men. You'd like to think we'd have held it if we'd have been a goal up with 11, but it's one of them. I think Farke did everything we could. We could speculate at 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 up, whatever. He'd have brought defensive players, and he probably would have done. But maybe it'd have worked yesterday because they were very toothless in attack. Were Palace? They were toothless. We dealt with them really well. They played the game in front of us. We kept to shape and we nullified them. We absolutely nullified them. They didn't really cause us much of a threat. So I think we'd have been able to do that anyway, mate. What is worrying is we haven't scored in our last 3 games. Yeah. Scoring goals is what keeps you up for me. 0-0 drawing games ain't going to keep us up. Scoring goals keeps us up, and West Ham are scoring goals. Forest don't score many goals. 100 likes with it. Thanks so much, everyone. 153 people in. Thanks for smashing that like. Please subscribe if you're new here too. The draws are down to the manager, not the players. A bit of both, Lloyd. I think, the players have to take some accountability too. You concede a goal because usually someone's not switched on or something's gone wrong. Sometimes it's a worldie, but not very often in Premier League now. It's usually a player's fault and switched off. We've had loads of moments we've switched off at near post and they've nipped in, and been loads of times this season. Ball watching and getting caught out late in games, mental fatigue. We look knackered. Some of our players towards the end, but I do agree. Farke a lot of the time retreating. It's got to be a message at this point, Lloyd, because we do see it a lot. We saw it in the Championship when we're 2-0 or 3-0 up, and we looked at teams and thought we can win these, be 6 or 7 today, and we'd retreat and it'd end 2 or 3-0, and we won't put us foot on the gas. So I do agree. The message, I think, the instruction for Farke is, I'm happy with this. Just sit back, ease off, save us energy. We'll go again next week. But I do think also sometimes the players are culpable. We have my mate. Hit the like button, please, says June. Thank you so much. 2 crumbs for comfort, says Gangeen. Forest haven't won since late January, and Forest haven't won the league since this year. Spurs haven't won the league this year. However, we can't expect this to continue. I'm sort of there. For me, that's not going to continue. At some point, they're going to win a game. They are. For me, they are. Skip. Lost to Burnley at Sunderland. Last minute lost to Newcastle, and last minute goal at Bournemouth draw. So many points dropped. I think it's 17 from winning positions in it. You just think if 4 of them, I'm not even being greedy saying half, just give me 4 of them points and we're almost safe. Hey up, Clem. I'm Welsh. I hope we lose the first playoff game so the players come back fresher. You hope Wales lose it? Wow, that's some dedication, that to the cause, my mate. Yeah, you'll be on your own on that, Tafster. You'll be on your own on that one, mate. If we get relegated, I think it'll be fairly toxic towards him because he'll be the man that took us down. And very rare, especially at a club as big as Leeds for me, can you take someone down and still have enough credit in bank to come back up? I'm just not too sure that's the thing. I'm really not. I understand what you mean with it. Would he probably get us back up? Maybe, but I'm not too sure that'll be the case, pal. Lloyd, I think when you have a bad game, you can get demoted for a week after. So what you'll probably find is Mr. Bramall will be refereeing Championship at the weekend, I would presume, because surely they'll look at his performance and think, nah, we aren't going to go public with it. I don't want to say too much about it, but you deserve a bit of a slap on the wrist because you were poor. So maybe he'll be refereeing Championship at the weekend. But again, it's fuck all, and it's no compared to us losing 2 points. It was one of Farke's worst games yesterday. He was happy to sit back with Temaya. Clive, it weren't one of his worst games yesterday, mate, in my opinion. Palace were awful, though. I agree with that. I've said my point is he should have scored against Man City, Everton away, missed penalty. Yeah, I agree. He should have done, mate. He should have done. And yeah, Lloyd, sometimes that's the thing, innit? Sometimes you galvanise and you play play better, or everyone raises their percentiles a bit, because at the end of the day, you're a body down. You've all got to work that little bit harder to cover space, and I think Leeds did that phenomenal in that second half. But bearing in mind, Lord, that's our first red card, bar Farker, which obviously isn't a player. That's our first red card this season, so our discipline's been superb, absolutely superb. It's not something we've faced much this season, so to be able to adjust and keep a clean sheet, is that only our fourth or fifth clean sheet of the season? We're really good to see, really good to see. Yeah, I've heard that too, Lloyd. If he doesn't start, Nonto and James, can they at least come off the bench? Yeah, Punky, of course they can. I just think in that game yesterday, he was never going to do that when you're down to 10 men. And if he brings them on and we lose the game, then he's getting pelters for going for it. In my opinion, there was no need to go for it yesterday and potentially open it up. At 11v11, yes, 100%. I was happy with a point with 10 men. With 10 men, I was happy with a point. Yeah, I'm not too sure, mate. I'm not too. Yeah, they were poor. I ain't gonna lie. Palace were shit. Palace could still be playing now, mate, and still not scored or not had a shot on target. Palace were turgid. They were turgid. Clive, I've seen you on a lot of people's chat. I'm not an happy clapper. I'm not, Mr. Farker's biggest fan. I'm really not. I don't know how long you've watched channel. I'm not his biggest fan at all. Come the summer, if we stay up, there's a conversation to have, and I'm here for it. But I ain't falling for nothing. He had a good game yesterday, Farker. A point away from home in London, where we rarely win, with 10 men playing against 12. We got a point and nullified them. Let's just take that, mate, and go with it. If he gets a lineup wrong against Brentford and we lose, come back here, mate, and I won't be giving him no flowers. But yesterday, Farker got it right. Sunderland game, fucking atrocious, mate. Fucking awful. On Farker. Also the officials, but on Farker for not being brave enough. I don't think I can lay any blame at Farker yesterday. I really don't, Clive. And if you do, that's fine, my mate. That's fine. But genuinely, I'll call a spade a spade. I just do not foresee how I can lay any blame at Daniel Farker yesterday at all. Well, I say brave, you say sensible. It was good selection, wasn't it? It was good selection. Big up, Maya. Thanks all boxed up for your super chat. Much appreciated, mate. I hope you're well. Big up you too, buddy. Thanks again, my mate. I think we should have a positive starting lineup and get at them from the start next Saturday. If we score early, then we are in control of the game. DCL needs a scrappy goal. Yeah, he does. He just needs Alt to go in, doesn't he, after that? Can Leeds go to Tottenham and beat their C team? You have to hope so. It's another game on the list that, we may need to go. Obviously, it's further towards back end of the season that I need, a fair few games to go before that. Hopefully, we're safe by the time we play Tottenham. But that may be a game we have to go get a point. Go get 3 points potentially. It does, Clive, and it certainly has become a habit. June, I think every credit to our boys yesterday. As Daniel said, his Warriors, he was cheated again. Yeah, 100%. You could tell Farker was certainly watching what he said yesterday, weren't you? You can see we're watching what he said yesterday. A decent manager would get us 50, yeah, and Haaland might get 40 goals, but he ain't gonna, a decent manager, who's a decent manager, and in what right do we have as our first season back in the Premier League to have a decent manager? We looked out with Bielsa in Championship. I mean, that's a crazy point when you look back now. Imagine someone of that quality going to a Championship side now. He isn't. I wouldn't label Farker a decent manager. I'd label Farker, a good manager, an okay manager, a manager that's okay to get you promoted and maybe keep you up. I think this side stays up, and then, like I say, conversations to be had in summer. But right now, galvanise as a club and as a fan base until it goes proper shit. And when I say proper shit, I mean let's get walloped by Brentford at home, get knocked out a cup against West Ham, get walloped away to Man United, and then you best believe I'll come on here and call it out. But right now, the boys are playing for manager, and I'm singing for boys. Leeds need 42. I don't think it was. We need 40 plus, in my opinion. We don't want it to go to West Ham on the last day. Now, I mean, Nigel, I don't think it goes to West Ham on the last day. But again, the way, game by game, if we don't take care of our business, it will do. Leeds know more than most. Corruption does affect referee. Yeah, it does. It does. But we've had it before, haven't we? We've had it all them years ago, mate. We've been absolutely napped with it. Can't see Spurs, West Ham and Forest outperforming Leeds for the rest of the season. I hope not. I hope not too. Loads of comments here. Evening, hey up, Seamus. Love your content. I think we'll be fine. At least another 7 points. Right, I tell you what, I'm way behind. I will try to catch up on chat, but I'm still way behind. But I'm going to bring on a slide here, and I'm going to have to skip some comments, guys. I'm really sorry. But I made this up early, so I'm going to bring it on. So this is what I think. And bearing in mind, let's have a conversation about it. You won't all agree, right? And I've done a table predictor and all that before, but I thought this was a nice way of sort of looking at it. I won't remember where I think the points are coming from. I'm going to go through them now. So the comment section is going to fill up. So I am sorry, I'm going to be able to get through them all. But you look at this, right? Leeds, I look at that, right? And realistically, I think 10 points is doable. So you look at Brent, and bearing in mind, that's beating Brentford. I think we've got to go beat Brentford. I think I'm sort of looking at it. Beat Brentford, that's 3. We get no against Scum. Wolves, we win that, that's 6. Bournemouth, I'm going to say we get nothing. Burnley at home, we win that. That's 9. At that point, I think we're safe. I think we're safe at that point. Tottenham away, I think we can get a point. And then I'm looking at the other 2. I'm looking at the last 3 and thinking a point out of those 3. I actually think there's more points, obviously, to get. I think Leeds are capable of getting 12 plus. I really do. But right now, I think to suggest we're going to get 12, 13, 14 points seems a little bit like lunacy, to me, to suggest that based on we've only won, 2 in 14. So I think 3 in 8 with a draw, losing 5, lose 4, draw 1, win 3. I think that's a realistic look. You've got to remember we've had some really tough games in this run, and we've got a very favourable end. I mean, those last 4 games in May, that's a superb last 4 games for Leeds United. It really is. I mean, the last 6 look ridiculous on paper. Wolves, Bournemouth, Burnley, Tottenham, Brighton and West Ham. The last 6, you couldn't have wished for an easier 6 games. You couldn't. You play. You've got the bottom side in there. You've got a second bottom side in there. You've got 4 teams that are currently still below us. I think it's a great run. And you look at Tottenham, and I think I've given 9 points here on the basis that they go beat Forest at the weekend. Will they beat Forest? I'm not too sure they will. I think we'd all prefer a draw. But let's say Tottenham beat Forest. That all of a sudden is 2 wins without a loss, a draw and a win. That'll breed a lot of confidence. Sunderland away, been a tough game all season. I'm not too sure it's a tough game now. Brighton at home, if they're in a bit of form. You look at that. You look at April for Spurs. Massive opportunity there. The next 4 games for Spurs, if they don't win a couple of them, they're banging trouble. Because May, Villa away, home to Leeds, Chelsea and Everton, that's not the easiest last 4 games. So from Forest to Wolves, they've got to get a couple of wins in those or they are banging trouble. And when you look at Forest, I think they've got the toughest run. Away to Spurs, then they've got back-to-back home games with Villa and Burnley. They might get some up there. Away to Sunderland, but they've got a very tough May. Away to Chelsea, home to Newcastle, away to Scum and home to Bournemouth. I think Forest, who have only scored 28 goals this season, a lot less than us, I think they're going to struggle. I think West Ham will get the most points in the remaining fixtures. In my opinion, I can see them getting 11 points. I really can. So I think, looking at the fixtures, I think it's Forest that go down. But you best believe if Spurs don't get a couple of wins in their next 4, Spurs could go down 100%. They've got the weakest playing squad as of now with the injuries. I mean, they couldn't even fill a full bench yesterday. Nearly every squad number had 50 plus on the bench. A couple of keepers on there too. So they're banging trouble at Tottenham, playing the worst football right now. But that game against Forest is huge. If Spurs lose that, I think they're going to find it tough to come back from it. They get a win there, momentum can shift fairly easy. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I'm way off with that. But like I say, I'm going to have to skip some comments, guys, because I'm way behind. And I do appreciate all your comments, so thanks so much for tuning in. Love you all a bit, but my God, there's a lot of comments. Luke, so we just need to go back, go on, pick up as many as we can, because Dark Arts is always round the corner. Yeah, they are. They are. Burnley game mainly spooks me. We haven't scored again. Yeah, I mean, Burnley one's always going to spook us because Scott Parker's had his number, hasn't he? He's had his number, so I understand it. But it's got to be a game we target to win. That could be a game that we sort of seal as fate with that one by having enough points at that point. Every team we have left are looking forward to it now. Yeah, maybe. Draws are killing us. I think I've already done that one. Yeah, John giving it some. Let's get behind the boys. Look what happened yesterday. We didn't lose, though, did we? We will smash Brentford, then scum. There you go, points in the back. I can't just go along with that, mate. I can't. Scum's going to be tough, and smashing Brentford's going to be just as tough. But yeah, we've got to be up for it against Brentford. It's one of those games, isn't it, where it's a huge game. We get up, I think, for the bigger teams, the Liverpools, the Chelseas and Scums. We get up for those games a bit more than we do for the Brentford. But Brentford are a very good side this season. If we're not on it, they'll come to our place and they'll beat us in his own backyard. So we've got to be up for fight. They're a great side with a really good coach, and I didn't think I'd be saying that this season. No, it won't, Gavin, at all. It won't. His card's potentially already marked for next season. I can't deny that. His card's potentially already marked for next season. I really can't deny that. Do I think Farke's a man for next season? Right now, I'm not too sure. You weren't happy with a point, Jamie, yesterday, no? Brentford 2-all. Are you joking me? Are you joking me? Wolves will pull it back. Get in. Come on, Wolves. Go win it. Go win it. Yeah, he did, mate. He came over to Leeds fans, didn't he? Apologise, I love that. Minimum 6 points needed from the next 3 to take the pressure off. Yeah, we're going to start to see what we're made of, aren't we, when it comes to that pressure? We're going to really get to see what our players are made of. We're in the FA Cup quarter-final because of the players he's been ignoring in the league. Again, Clive. Oh, man. I love the back and forth, pal, I do. And you're being respectful of me too, you know me. I think we're in quarterfinals, mate, because we've played 3 championship sides. Like if you're suggesting Nonto, Tanaka, Pirro, all them players not playing, and us playing as league side in those 3 games that would have been knocked out, I think that's mental. Like we're in the quarterfinal because we've drawn 3 championship sides, mate. Like that, you've got to see that, Clive. There's no way are we there because Pirro played and Tanaka played. There's just no way. And yes, I hear anybody saying they haven't been given a chance this season. I fucking hear you, mate. I hear all of you that say Nonto, James, Tanaka, Pirro should have had more. Of course I do. They all should have had more minutes. There's been a lot of reasons, injury and form, but I can't argue that they could have had more of a go this season. In certain games, come on and change games. But to say the only reason we're there is because of the play, nah, mate, it's because it's been championship players for me. It really has been. I love that. Love that. Jamie, in this run, we are going to need results to go our way because I can see us beginning to start dropping. Win at home, which is a big worry. You need to win at home. In the form we're in, Jamie, the home games, we have to pick up 3 points. We've lost back-to-back home games now. That can't become a pattern. Our home form has been a little bit like Sunderland. It's been as catalyst to our points early on. It's been a fortress. Anyone coming to Ellen Road knows we're in a game. And let's be fair, we lost 1-0 to City in Sunderland. We haven't been hammered at home. His integrity is still there. We're still a great side at home, under the lights and all that stuff. Yeah, that's been bashed out of park now. We're not as maybe people won't fear it as much as a blueprint to playing Leeds at Ellen Road. Let's be fair. Time waste, frustrate, make it anxious for the fans there. And you can come away with something from Ellen Road. Yes, you can. But it is still a hard place to go, and we are still a great side at home. A really good side at this level. We don't get beat very often at home. And if we do, it's a fine margin. We just need to try and make sure with how many games are left, we're other side of that margin this time. When's a draw? Do you never see a draw as a good result? Has it always got to be a win? Like when's a draw good enough? Well, a draw good enough at Chelsea from 2-0 down, Clive? Because at some point, you know, draw is a good result. Because you can't win every game of football, can you? Especially as Leeds, like where we are as a club, you can't. So at some point, you know, that is one of the eventualities of a game of football after 90 plus minutes. A draw's on cards. Too many draws can be a bad thing, you know, and that's certainly the case now for us. But with everything against us yesterday, it was a good one. You know, the draw away at Villa, people, you can take a draw at Villa. It weren't a good draw because we dropped points in the last moment, you know. Everton, what's saying? Away at Everton's not bad. Yeah, but we were in lead and we threw it away again. But yesterday, like, that we just showed another way to get a point there for me. You showed a different way to. But yeah, I mean, it is a bit mad how just you are, mate. To be fair, it is non-stop, mate. But it is what it is. You know me. I don't mind opinions, but like, I do have to question like where you are in your life right now because, come on, mate. Let's just try and get through it together. You know, like let's try and get it through it together. Must be bloody miserable at minute you, mate, because that's every comment's just negative, negative, negative. Like we're outside the relegation zone. Like, you know, we support Leeds United. What a fucking club. What a club. It's ups and downs, mate. You're gonna have these moments. But let's try and see silver lining, mate. Let's try and see silver lining. Because you don't know what's to come after this period. You don't know what's to come. We had Bielsa, then we got Jesse Marsh. Up here to there. We're not even up there right now. The margin to go to another Jesse Marsh is a lot closer and finer than it was from God over my shoulder. Like, I understand you're frustrated. I understand you don't like the manager. Would you gamble on Pirro starting next few matches or stick with what we have up front? I'd stick. I know you're a big Pirro fan, Colin. I'd stick. I won't argue with potentially him coming off the bench and having some minutes if needed, or maybe just mixing it up and changing it up a little bit. But I think in the moments Pirro's had, I don't think he's looked brilliant. What I will say is the goal in the cup will give him mass confidence. But yeah, for me, I'm a big Metcha fan, and I still think Calvert-Lewin can offer you so much if he's on his game. And for me, I wouldn't play Pirro yet, mate. I wouldn't start him. But maybe conversations getting closer. Pal, because DCL is out of form now for a good 4 or 5 weeks now. And what I'll say, Colin, is he's missing chances that Pirro would score, in my opinion. People say Pirro's best finisher in the squad, and I've always sort of gone along with that. I actually think Metcha's right up there with him. I think Metcha's possibly, runs Pirro pretty close as being the best finisher in the squad. And what I will say is a chance against City, I'd back Pirro to score on that far post. The penalty, I know he's missed a few. Missed away at Derby and Cup, missed at Birmingham, I think. I might be wrong. No, he scored at Birmingham, did he? I feel like he's missed a few penalties of late, Pirro. But I think he strikes a ball better than DCL. But yeah, I'm not too sure it'll happen, mate, if I'm honest. But thank you so much for Super Chat, as always. Attack. Imagine. Yeah, Jamie. It's easy when you look at paper to go, yeah, winnable. But I've done these predictors before, Jamie. I said we'd beat Sunderland, and I think I said we'd beat Palace. That's 2 games there with 1 point. Thought it might not be enough. Honestly, think we'll struggle to get even 1 win now. It's mad how rhetoric changes. Mad. We've won 7 from 30 games. It's tough to call 3 from 8. Yeah, I know it is, Nige. I know it is, pal. I predicted 3 there. You can't tell me as fans we're not expecting, and I know Wolves are doing bits right now as we speak. You can't tell me we aren't, as a fan base, predicting a win against Burnley and Wolves. If you're not predicting them or feeling we're going to win them, then we are doomed, aren't we? I would say everybody in here would say we should win them 2 games. I'm only calling 1 more win on top of that. So it seems mental based on 7 out of 30. But look at the games we've got to play now. It's a very favourable run, and we have to be targeting 3 wins, Nigel. We need 3 to stay in the division. 2, I don't think is enough. If we lose 6 and win 2, I think we go down. I know that's 38 points. I'd predict us to go down on that. And narrowly. I think 3 wins is what we need. I think 3 wins, we stay up. Maybe a couple of wins and, a couple of draws. Forest going to go. And I think looking at the fixtures, Forest are going to struggle. I know easy. That's That's the game there, really, that you look at recently and go, that's the one, that's the game that proper hurts. That game there is the Forest game earlier in the season. That Forest game there was the Burnley game earlier in the season. Those 3 games, you take away your Arsenals, which were atrocious, you take them to one side for now and go Burnley, Forest, Sunderland. Those 3 are the ones where you go, you massively got your lineup wrong. And Jesus wept you fucked us up on those games. Those are the 3 that Farker will culpable for. And that's 9 points there you look at and go, fucking hell, you win a couple of them. Win one of them. They're the 3 games I think that were the worst for us this season. And then you've had moments in other games where you've dropped points later on. But in terms of what I thought we'd get in the game and what I thought I'd see from the players and the manager, those 3 games stand out as absolute stinkers for me this year. 42 or 45, I hear. Did Wigan go down on 44? I'm not sure. West Ham went down on 42, though. West Ham went down on 42. I didn't. I went back. I got it, Colin, didn't I? I got it, mate. I got it. It just took me a while to get there, bro. Just took me a while to get there. Appreciate you, mate. It's not a given, Roger. It's not a given. But I think if we predict Wolves will beat Leeds now, we may as well just shut up shop and relegate us. Like, I don't think it's a given we beat Wolves. But if you're going to predict, do you think we'll win this week or not? They're the 2 out there that stick out as, they're the games we would expect the more likely outcome is a win out of all the other games. But yeah, Wolves aren't no mugs. Wolves are doing bits now. Wolves have really turned it round. We'll get 20 points in 8 games. Wow. Debatable, Lands. That is debatable. Appreciate that, buddy. I tell you what, I'm asking you for lottery numbers if we get anywhere near that, mate. By the time we play Scum, the 3 points we take from the theatre of shite we'll keep. I was thinking this, Lee. Go beat Brentford, that gets us on 35. Go beat Scum, it gets us on 38. We're basically there then with 6 games to go. We're going to pick up a few more points, aren't we? So I don't think 38 keeps us up. It might do, but I think if you get to 38 in next 2, Lee, you're going to get another point or 2 in next 6, aren't you? So I look at that and think, imagine that, celebrating, beat Brentford, go to Scum, get a win there, celebrating at Scum that you've survived, basically. Not mathematically so, but, we will have done in theory, really. You have had real bad decisions in the last 4 games. You're not going down along with my lot, West Ham. Yeah, West Ham aren't going down either, Paul. You're right with that. I appreciate that, mate. He is, mate. He is. Would you take a hit in the FA Cup to let West Ham play more games, Matty? No, Stealth. No. I gamble every day. I'll gamble every day on that. I gamble every day. I don't gamble at all. I gamble on that every day at week in terms of beat West Ham. I want to get through against West Ham, and I'll take the gamble that we'll still be okay in the league. Is what I mean. I wouldn't pass on that. I would. I want us to go get through in FA Cup, get to Wembley, but there's still 2 games. Another game before we play that. We need. Is it one game? Play Scum after West Ham? Is it West Ham straight after international break? Let me just check. Yeah, it is. So after Brentford, we haven't got another Premier League game for like 3 weeks. That's a long time to dwell on a Brentford loss, isn't it? Yeah, West Ham in Cup, fair enough, after international break. So it's not even a Premier League game for 3 weeks after Brentford. That's a brutal length of time if we lose to Brentford. So yeah, I look at that and I go, yeah, I want to go through in Cup as well, mate. I really do. Want to go through in Cup too. So many fickle fans, it's unbelievable. How you doing, Steve? We seem to be going through a bad spell, says Michael. I do, mate. Whichever way you look at it, whatever the cause, let's hope we come out of it soon and the lads keep fighting. Come on, boys, we're behind you. Yeah, we've got to show unity, and I think the club's doing that. Brentford have showed they are vulnerable tonight. Wolves hit the bar at 2-0, could have won it. There you go, Richard. As good as they are, they've shown, they concede goals. They're probably going to come out and run and score, but I tell you what, Leeds need to do something they've not done in the last 3 or 4 games and put the ball in the back of the net. And we need to do that. And let me guess, I haven't watched the Wolves game, as you know, I'm on here, Richard, but I assume they've had a go. Scoring 2 goals away, they've had a go, haven't they? That's what Leeds need to do. Be brave, have a go. You're at home. Lloyd, Pirro deserves more minutes. He would have scored that penalty. Yeah, I agree to score that penalty, mate, yeah. We've come this far. FA Cup could give Leeds confidence if we beat them. But yeah, 100%. It's got that bit of a psychological edge as well. And by Anit, Roger, you're right. We currently face them at last game of season. That could be a big moment. That could be what determines who stays up and who goes. I don't think it will, but it could be. And I think knocking them out FA Cup, yeah, it's great. It's not like we're playing an FA Cup game 2 days before a league game. It's falling at a minute when it's a week between games. Would we do well from having a week off? Someone will say, yeah. Imagine West Ham, we're not West Ham out, and then when it's the semi-final, they'll have a week off. So in effect, have 2 weeks gap. That could halt momentum. I think we're better to keep playing. We're not playing, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday. We're not. Let's stay in the cup. It's going to be a week in between games anyway, and it can winning breeds confidence. And I tell you what, you beat West Ham, you're in a semi-final at Wembley. There's some confidence in that side at that point. Not many people get to Wembley in the career. You best believe that's going to spike, I think, some in the boys in the dressing room. It's going to excite them, and it's a distraction away from the stress of the Premier League. But winning breeds winning momentum. It needs to be up the whites. Says 2 Yorkshire for saying, how you doing, mate? Go on, John Pepper. Give it some. Give it some. Yeah, 11 against 11, mate. I think we could have got 3 points as well. I think 10 against 12. I don't think anyone should be thinking we could have won that game. I think 10 v 12. Pillow would have been that pen 100%, but he can't start in the Prem, hasn't got the legs. I don't think he's got the physical edge to what you need, or the pace, has he? Teams have just found us out like Palace, like Sunderland did. Don't play football against us, just go down, roll around, break the game up, get the referee on their side. I think Brentford will do the same. I think Brentford will try and do the same too. I do think they're a little bit better at football than Sunderland and Palace, to be fair. I think they're a better side. Clear look at the league position suggests that. But that is the blueprint, mate. That is the blueprint. I certainly didn't want Bielsa. I cried my eyes out. I actually physically cried when he went. I was absolutely devastated. I'd have gone down with Bielsa. And gone back up. I know that sounds like a poor man's mentality. It's Leeds United, not Bielsa, but I'd have risked it. I'd have risked it with Bielsa. I don't think he'd have took us down, but we went down anyway, didn't we? So the year after, I would have stuck with Bielsa, me, 100%. I love the man. Rightly or wrongly, I can't help it. I'm just honest. DCL is off form. We can't risk waiting for him to hit form. We haven't the luxury to do that. He looks leggy for me. Yeah, David, I just don't know what other option you've got. Do we take him out the file and play Pirro with Metcher? Do we not do that? And do we just leave Metcher up top and get another winger or two on? Do we go 4-2-3-1 and get, maybe that's the way forward at home. I wouldn't mind seeing us at home play 4-2-3-1. And I understand the 3 at the back works brilliantly, and Jacobi all don't work in a 4. I get all that. But I want to see something different. I think we're very predictable at the minute. I think, you can pretty much read the lineup. I know if threw a bit of a curveball with lineup yesterday at Palace, but especially that sort of back line, you sort of know what it's going to look like. West Ham fan looking in from the outside said, Thatcher's child. I cannot see you going down compared to Spuds and Forest. Look at the terrible bad luck you've had with the refs the last 4 games. And you came through, you'll be okay. Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. And very impressed with how you've turned it around. Very impressed. How long's Somerville out for? Do we know? 125 likes, guys. 155 watching. Thanks for your support. Can we get it up to 150 before I end? That would be legendary. If not, it's still legendary. But yeah, smash the like if you're not already. And please smash me a subscribe if you're not subscribed. We should sign Jacob Ramsey. Oh, I like Jacob Ramsey. I don't think he's going to come to Leeds. Or he's having a good time at Newcastle, is he? Or is he not? We can definitely get a Brentford. They were lucky to beat Burnley and lucky to get a point against Wolves tonight. Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like I'm going to watch highlights and I've come off here. 2-2 and hit the bar. So we can definitely beat Brentford. We can. So we've got no giving right to win any game, but some of the games we've had of late, we played like Chelsea's away, and we've had to go to, we've had to play City at home. It's a winnable game, is Brentford, mate, innit? Yeah, they're not the Brentford of sort of old. You look at them under Andrews and you think they've really done something amazing this season. I don't think many of us would have predicted. But it's got to be a game we target, mate. It's got to be. It's got to be. And it all starts with lineup. I think between 30 and 40 good. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Richard. I'm saying I want 40, obviously, want as many as you can get. 38 could keep us up. I think 40 does keep you up. And I think there's enough games there to go get 40. So let's not stand around and wait, because 38 points, a point per game, 79 points, Farker says. If we get 7, you best believe we get 38. Leeds go down on it. You just best believe it, mate. You know, you just best believe. Well, that'd be 39, but you best believe Leeds get 38, 39 and get relegated, because that's us, isn't it? That's us. So 40, go down on 40, then, you know, you are unlucky. Brentford were unbeatable when they were 2-0, yet they could and should have lost 2-3. There you go. Mad. 20 points is 52 points. That's a dream tenant. Yeah, these 20 points ain't happening, mate. Yeah, I get 100%. 100%. Lloyd says, Burnley, Forest and Leeds games plus Sunderland, we should have won the lot. Sackable. Wow. I wanted him sacked after Forest, so I'll be honest. After Forest, I wanted him sacked. I did early in the season. I lost my head after that one. We are staying up. Mate. If BL plays versus Brentford, they won't score. They could not score at home against that. Yeah, to be fair, for some reason now, I know for some reason he's a good player, he's BL, but for some reason now, whenever BL's in team, I just feel like no one's going to get past him. You know, he can still concede a goal, obviously, but I just feel like when BL's inside now, I'm like, yep, we're not going to concede a couple a day, you know. And I know we've struggled to score of late, but I do feel that's sort of a recent thing. I do think there's goals in this side, as long as we play with the attacking intent that we can have with the players we've got. But yeah, when Beale's in that side, Steve, I do feel a lot stronger at the back. Like, you know, you're going to have to do something really good to score today, you know, especially when it's a big target man. Like, he's going to bully you. And I feel like he did that again yesterday. I don't think he gives Strand Larsen. Mateta had a little bit more joy, I think. But at that point, game state, you know, Jacobil roared on a booking. You know, there were a couple of moments where ball got chipped in and Mateta got his head in it. But if I'm honest, I think he did really well to Marshall. Strand Larsen was non-existent, and I bigged him up as a, you know, I think he's a good player, Strand Larsen. I think he'll come good. I think he'll, you know, I don't think it'll look like a massive fee in a few years from now. I really don't, in my opinion. But I tell you what, Jacobil ate him for breakfast, didn't he? Regardless of ref decisions of VAR, we've all have 30 games to get the points required. Up to now, it's been performances not good enough. Not just refs for all bottom half teams. Yeah, no, I agree, Brett. I agree. We have had some absolutely lunatic decisions from the referee in the last 3, though. And I personally think we've had 1 point in the last 3 games, and I think we should have had 5. And I think the 4 points dropped are directly from the referee, though. Directly from the referee. But we've also dropped 17 points from winning positions, and you shouldn't pick all 17 of them points up, but maybe half of them. You know, you look at that and think maybe half of them, they are on Leeds. They are on us. But I do honestly believe in the last 3, there's at least 3 or 4 points gone awry there because of poor officiating. And that right now is what's pissing me off and pissing a lot of Leeds fans off. But as the collective on the whole, 30 games to get your points, we haven't done enough. We're actually ahead of schedule to Farker, aren't we? Got 32 points in 30 games. So we're ahead of schedule. Imagine we stay up, says Michael, and not only make the FA Cup final, but win it. Oh, what a feeling that would be. Imagine that. Imagine, mate. Imagine. Possible. How many of our boys are playing international Brentford? I'm not sure. All the Welsh contingent, I presume, mate. Having just watched Brentford, if we pressure, get them 3-5-2 attack and bully them under the lights. Yeah, Paul, that's what we've got to do it, mate. Kyle Booth, love the channel, pal. Fingers crossed for Saturday. Man, need the 3 points. Thanks so much for that, Kyle. Appreciate it, my mate. Please smash the subscribe if you're new here. Please bang that like button too. Massively appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. People should remember that we beat Man City away with 10 men, so we could beat a point. I know, mate. I know. We were once the best team in England as well, pal. You know, like... Oh. And that Stuart Dallas goal, mate, he'll live with me forever. What a moment that was. But, yeah, we're not that team, are we, mate? It's a different team. I know what I know. What to say? Someone said Viduka was slow and lazy, just like they say about Pirro. They were wrong then and they're wrong now. You don't think Pirro's as good as Viduka, do you, Easy? You don't think Pirro's on Viduka's level? Question: if we had won, what would we be all talking about and would still be moaning? Come on, guys, it's all if buts and maybes. Yeah, it is, John. But obviously, if buts and maybes, give me something to talk about on here. Or I might as well not do this. I need to speak about the if buts and maybes. I like a good waffle, not just a waffle on. I also enjoy waffles. I'm a big guy, as you know. But if we'd have won the game, I'd have still slated the referee. But yeah, there'd have been a few people, I think, eating their words, mate, because I think if we win that game 1-0, if DCL scores that penalty, John, half time comes, he brings on Bogle and Gruev, and we see that game 1-0. There'll be some people saying we should have gone and scored more, but really, it's the perfect away performance, isn't it? We won poor penalty. Paul had taken a penalty away from Shithouse in a 1-0 then and really galvanised it. And that'd have been amazing. That'd have been one of the best wins of the season to come out of that. It's probably one of the best draws at season in terms of what we had to, cope with to get the result in the end. Am I happy with a point? No, I wanted 3. But in the circumstances, it was a good point. And I understand these moments where people with, sides with 10 men go and win a game. But we weren't playing 11 men, Clive. That's what you got to remember. We were playing 12. We were handicapped from the fucking start. We really were. Mark Whittam, how you doing, my mate? Burnley and Wolves could well be mathematically down by the time we play. Yeah, that is true, Mark. So we'll have nothing to play for, but we're not down by then. A draw will be no good to them. Will be hard. Yeah, I agree. I've never really looked at that either. Both of them seem to be doing all right lately, but yeah, by the time we get to another 2 or 3 games down the line, mathematically there could be. And then you've got 2 ways to look at it, though. Then they've got nothing to play for. They're on the beach. But then again, sometimes when there's no pressure, because at the minute, I suppose there's no pressure anyway. They probably feel like they've been gone for months, don't they? But they're playing good football, not under pressure now. So I think when they're mathematically down, Mark, it may have the adverse effect. They may actually go on and play better football. Who knows? But there's something in that and something I've not really thought about, to be honest. When's Okafor back? I would think Nige this weekend. I would think, but I might be wrong with that. It might be in contention, maybe. Isaiah, smash the likes for that. Matty, thank you so much. Metchett and Willett in the SS role could work. It's worth a try. Then I'd love to see Willie Nonto start a game of football. I think I think out of all the players who's played in the cup competitions, everyone, I think Willie Nonto deserves a start. I really, really do. Mark says, I know we need DCL fit, but nobody's the man we need back in the line. Yeah, he seems to be the man that Farker trusts as well, doesn't he? Out of those sort of winger options, direct, quick, tricky, not been playing to his full potential all season, but in the games he's played well. He's shone bright, and I think he could be a difference maker for us. I really do. Yeah, we need a draw in that one, don't we? It's hard to explain to someone who doesn't watch the games. The refs have been so poor, mate, of late. We got relegated last time with 31 points, exactly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the point per game. I think a point per game, like you say, it's just an average that it gives you, but I think it doesn't show ambition for me. It gives a baseline, and I think when you set a baseline target, you've only got to fall below it and you're down, aren't you? So I much prefer, aiming higher than that. And I know Farker set a point per game. I know he wants 2 points a game. Obviously, he wants as many as he can get. But I think the point, even when we're in the championship, what it 90 points or 90 goals will get you promoted or whatever. I think sometimes, the target should be a lot higher than that baseline that he does set. And a point per game, we've trended on that pretty much all season, only below it a little bit. But we're currently 2 points ahead of that already. And it don't feel safe right now, does it? I'm confident, still confident. There isn't 1% of me that thinks we get relegated right now. Maybe that changed after Brentford. But I do think trending on that 1 point per game, it doesn't allow for much error. And there's error, right? There's error at the minute. There's error, and look where we are. We are on the same points when we got relegated. Yeah, I think we're a couple of points in front. Are we a point in front? I agree with Clive on that. We have a better team now than when we went down. John, we did superb with 10 men. It's a different way of playing football. A different way, with 10 men, I'm not expecting us to play free-flowing, expansive football, getting the ball out wide and attacking, and I'm not expecting that. When in Premier League, even against the poor Palace side, you lose ball high up, a couple of passes and you're on back foot and they can get in behind and score, and then all of a sudden it's a shocking result. Missed penalty, lose Gabby Goodmanson for Brentford and also lose the game. It's important if you can't win the game, which I think when you're down a man for half a game, the odds are massively stacked against you that you're going to win the game. And when you can't win the game, John, let's just not lose it. And that's how I see it. So I think it was a great second half performance. Not with the ball, but off the ball. Here, Morris. I'm massive on bringing as many comments up as I can. But yeah, there's a few people in tonight who are annoyed. And they have a right to voice an opinion. So I'll always try and bring it on as long as it's not nasty or, there's no too untoward. People are entitled to an opinion. But I agree, in terms of some of the comments are laughable at times. Some of them I don't agree with. But we'll have a conversation about it. I try and remain balanced. I'm a positive fan. I can see both sides, which I'm glad I can when I'm not in the moment of, reacting straight after the game. It's quite easy to see both sides. But yeah, some people go a bit too far. It's not all doom and gloom at all. It's really not. If we'd have lost the game, it'd have felt so much worse. Some people are acting like we lost the game yesterday because we didn't win it. Some games you can't win. It's important not to lose. 17 points lost from winning positions is on the manager. Never happens at Arsenal, City, or Liverpool. Again, though, you're comparing, fucking hell, you're comparing, I don't know, a bag of crisps with a fucking bottle of water. I don't know. Like Leeds against that, like it's not going to happen. Arsenal, Liverpool, and City aren't going to lose 17 points from winning positions, Lloyd. Like I agree. Some of those loss of points are on Farke. Of course they are. Some of them are on players as well. Of course they are, But you can't compare Leeds with Arsenal, Liverpool, and City, Lloyd. You can't. Like not right now. Not right now, mate. That's why the top of towards top of league. Yeah, well said. Well said. Hey up, Kyle Reese. What's your thoughts on Wolves at home, pal? Just doesn't feel like it's an easy win for us, whether they're relegated by the time we play them. What's your thoughts, my thoughts are, Kyle, right now, look at it on paper. It's got to be a game. If you ask everybody, tell us what you think for those results, those fixtures, sorry. That's the game you say, I predict to win. I predict to win, and then a riot. I think if you're predicting that not to be a win, right now, Saya, we're in trouble of relegating. If we sit here now and think, whoa, we're not going to win that game, we'll lose that game. If you tell me now, if you can look at a crystal ball and say we lose to Wolves, I'm panicking about where the points are coming from. Wolves are playing really good football right now. Momentum is huge, and they are playing good stuff, scoring goals because they've got no to lose. They were shy earlier in the season. Those players haven't changed. The mentality's changed. Farke's mentality has to change for our home games and what it was against Sunderland. If we play our best football, if we play an attacking lineup with an attacking brand of football, we won't lose to Wolves. They haven't gone to Brentford and won. They've come back from two down. Yeah, they're in form. But I think we beat Wolves. In my opinion, Kyle, we beat Wolves. We battered them away when they weren't in the worst form ever. They weren't playing well. They hadn't won a game at that point, I don't think either. But, you look at where they've been all season until the last couple of months. I think we beat Burnley and we beat Wolves. And I think if we sit here now and say we don't, I think we're looking at Championship football next season. I don't think those two games can pass us by and not win. And I understand he haven't beaten Parker at Burnley. And I understand Wolves are playing well. But if we don't win them games, Kyle, we're down, in my opinion. Because where are other games coming from? Because Wolves at home, yeah, tough game. But is it tougher than going away to West Ham? Probably not. Is it tougher than going away to Tottenham? Tottenham are shite. But away to Tottenham, London, I'm not sure. Is it harder than going to Scum? Where's his points coming from? Those two have to be bankers. They have to be bankers. Playing Brentford at home, that's tougher on paper than what Wolves is. So, yeah, I get what you mean. Notes are given. But obviously, YouTube channel, chatting with mates, we speculate. We have conversations. And I think if we're losing to Wolves, struggling against Burnley, then it's Championship football next year. So I can't even go there, mate, right now. We're a better side. We're a lot more points high up in table. We've got a better side than them. I think we've got a better manager than them. I think Wolves are the one side. I think Farke's probably better than maybe two or three managers in this league, in my opinion. And he's definitely better than Wolves manager, for me. Wolves have got a Championship manager in Edwards. And Farke's the best Championship manager. That's how I see it, my mate. My next prediction, next 4 games, 10 points. You've seen it here. Go on, John. Go on, John. Love it, John. Love it. Stephen Mercer, we are dragging this out. We are on the edge. We should have had survival sorted now. Wolves are playing well. That game's not in the bank. We will make it, MOT. I hope we make it, mate. Most teams look vulnerable this season. A manager who plays to win would have us within a chance of top 6. Well, we love you, Matty. Cheers, John. Love you. I love you all too. I love you all. Even Clive. We're all Leeds at the end of the day. And you know what it is? We all have the same goal in mind. We all have the same dream for Leeds United. We just all have a different way of how we get there. We all have a different opinion of how we get there. A different player, different team, different manager, different owners, more money spent, less money. We all have a different way of how we achieve that. But ultimately, as goals all the same, we want Leeds United to be successful. It's just we all have a different opinion how we get there. And as long as it's respectful, I don't mind any of it, mate. Don't mind any of it. And I'd really try and be as balanced as I can be, because I understand, we are all Leeds at the end of the day. But yeah, it's hard when, people are really negative, because there's nothing I can say on here to change anyone's mind. They're really in, maybe you can see another perspective, but I ain't going to be able to change Clive's mind at all in anything I say. So we have a discussion about it, and, maybe you can see where I'm going with it, but still disagree as well, Hey up, Matty, how are you? I'm good. How are you, my friend? I hope you're good, mate, wherever you are in the world and whatever you're up to. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Wouldn't it be great to start Nonto and James versus Brentford, throw a curveball? Nige, I'd love it. I'd love it. And again, I don't think thing is with Farker, I feel like if he takes a risk with some of these attacking players and it backfires, I don't think he comes out of it in a negative light. I really don't. Start James and Nonto, we get beat 2-0. He can turn around and go, well, that's why I play Gruev. That's why I play Aronson. Are the fans going to really turn them and go, why have you done that? I don't think they are, because I think the majority of the fan base want to see him have a go now. Brett, come on, people. All these subscribers on the channel, there should be a lot more members. Cheers, Brett. I appreciate that, mate. I think we've got 31 members, which is brilliant, to be fair. I never push anyone to become a member. But yeah, the option's there if you want. And yeah, thanks for that, Brett. Really appreciate it. But yeah, subscribe, like the videos. That's the most important thing. It gets pushed out to more people. I can't lie, Brett. I'm absolutely over the moon how the channel's been going of late. Whatever I do, I come on here for a chat with you guys like this, and I try and get through as many comments as I can. You're here supporting me, over 130 people for a full hour and a half. I do a watch along, there's a couple of hundred people. I do a bloody watch along. It's not even Leeds, there's a few hundred people. Late night Leeds is getting good numbers. Thank you. Just want to say that. Thank you so much to everyone that supports the channel. And just by watching, clicking like, it means the world, man, honestly. As you probably know, I don't know ball. I'm just me. I'm just chatting. I just love it. I just love chatting with you guys about Leeds United. And yeah, the fact that anyone gives me time of day is it's mint. I'm working today in LGR, no, LGR, Jimmy's, St James Hospital, doing a little job there. I'm there again tomorrow. If anyone's there, let me know. He didn't say his name, but there were a bloke literally in security in the States. I was signing in just to do some work. And he literally was talking to me, mate, about the job. And he turned to me and went, Matt, it's Matty, innit? And shook me hand. He went, yeah, I watch you all the time. I think you're absolutely brilliant. You just want to shut your hand, mate. And I was like, I'm just saying my work clothes, about to pull some cables in. I was like, wow, class. Even getting stopped at work now. I love it. Absolutely love it. So one thing I can do is chat about Leeds. Whether I do it well or not, I'm not too sure. But I definitely, provide a platform for people to chat and engage as well and have back and forth with each other. Whether it's someone as positive as Mr. John Pepper or someone fairly negative, Clive, let's be honest, at the minute. Feeling a bit down about Leeds. We're all here for the same goal, and that's to chat about Leeds. And yeah, thank you for embracing me, man, because where this channel's gone in 17 months is kind of crazy. So thank you. MOT, we're going to see you win. Come on, Logan, mate. The way you have to look at it, says Steve, teams below us are there for a reason. We are not as easy to play against as the points prove. Yeah, I agree. Say we can look at Wolves and Burnley and be like, oh, they're tough games. But they're coming to Leeds United who are, 10 points clear of them at Ellen Road. And we're a tough game too. We are a tough game. That's how we've got to look at it. And that's the mentality I'm going to have with these other sides. We're a tough game. DJ doesn't always start for Wales these days. Usually comes on as a sub. He's a great impact player. He's a superb impact player. If Farke keeps us up, which I believe he will, it could make him an in-demand lower Premier League manager and hard to keep. I'm not too sure we'll be fighting people off for him, but if he wants to be seen, Colin, as a Premier League manager, he has to keep Leeds United in the division. The side is good enough to stay up and, talk about, he hasn't had this, he hasn't had that. He's had 100 million spent in summer and he's got the best squad he's had in his career in England. He has to keep Leeds up and then maybe he can be deemed a Premier League manager. Because at the minute, Colin, until he succeeds and does that, he's always going to be deemed the best for the Championship. If he gets sacked at the end of the season by Leeds, which I actually think it's a 50-50 chance, genuinely, even if he keeps us up or when he keeps us up, and say 8 games into the season, Rob Edwards is sacked at Wolves, I think Farke gets a job and probably gets them. That's how I sort of see it. But yeah, 100%, if he gets sacked from Leeds at the end of the season and he's kept us up, and 8 games into the season, Lampard sacked from Coventry, maybe he gets that job. Maybe he gets another Premier League job. But he's got to keep us up first, Danny Colin, Kyle Reese definitely must win. Like you say, very unpredictable, these teams around us at the minute. Still hopeful, man not down and out by any means, MOT. Yeah, I agree, Kyle. It is a must-win. But again, if everyone around us don't win, it's not a must-win, but we're running out of games, aren't we? And at some point, we need to pull out a couple of wins, and it has to be one we look at. James and Strauch are underrated by our fans. I don't know about underrated by fans. Maybe they are, mate. I like them both. I think Strauch's outstanding. I do think Strauch's out of Strauch, Rodon, Be-all. I do think Strauch's looked at as the least sort of talented player out of them lot. But I think Strauch goes about his business so well, and I think he's been one of our better players this season. And James, I don't know. I like him. Mark, mate, I just found your channel, and you are awesome. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, my mate. Really, really, really appreciate that. I swear Gruev is very overrated. I think Gruev's a very good DM in the Championship. I'm surprised at how many minutes he's got in Prem. When he has a good day, he can be effective, productive, keeps the ball recycled, don't lose it very often, but plays a very basic game of football. He reminds me very much of Adam Forshaw. Very Adam Forshaw. Whether he's better than Forshaw or not, I'm not too sure, but he's very Adam Forshaw. If we, Morris, if we beat Brentford Saturday, we put pressure on teams around us. They play Sunday and surely someone drops. But I agree. 6 points cleared again. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we beat Brentford Saturday, Morris, and we're on 35 points. Some will argue one more win will be enough. I think we need another 2 or 1 and a couple of draws. But that puts on 35 points. You're on cusp at that point. You're on the cusp. And I think win against Brentford with 7 to go then on 35 points, it's going to have to be something massively, out of favour to get relegated at that point. I think while living on 31, 32 like we are now, you're too far away. But I think, beat Brentford with 7 to go or sat on 35, I think it's impossible. I'm going to say impossible to get relegated at that point. The Bexley wing at St James's was where I had my... Oh, is it Steve? Is that where you had your treatment? Yeah, but I actually was at the Bexley today. Yeah, that's where I was signing at the Bexley wing. I'm going to be there in the morning. Keep going, Steve, mate. Yeah, maybe. I mean, a new manager may want Tanaka as well. Stephen Mercer, I've got more grey hair after watching the games this season. I just wanted to be safe, yeah. John Pepper, Matty, if I get a ticket for a Wolves game, I will see you at Bremner statue. I'll text you on here and tell you when I get there. John Pepper, I'd love to meet you, mate. I'd love to shake your hand 100%. Yeah, if that's the game you're going for and you get a ticket, mate, you let me know, mate, and I'll certainly meet you. Shake your hand, give you a cuddle. That's what I'll do. But yeah, I'm a cuddler. Do you mind cuddling? Or is that a bit too far? I'm a bit of a cuddler. Thanks, Lee. Massive supporter, mate. Think well, do you, pal? Thank you. Farke left Bogle on the bench, so he proved he can do it. So why not put DCL and Aronson on the bench and bring them? Yeah, Lloyd. I mean, that would have been a big call, wasn't it, Bogle? I mean, James Justin's been out superb, so I don't think it was a massive call leaving Bogle out, but I think James Justin's a huge player for us this season too. But I do agree with that. Maybe a curveball's coming. DCL and Aronson. They do look a bit. We flogged them a bit, haven't we? We flogged them. They look a bit knackered. Maybe take them out wouldn't be a bad thing. Positive. Go on, June. Look at it like this. Farke wouldn't have been hired with the Premier mind, only promotion. But you can't sack a manager that gets 100 points. Think if he keeps you up, it's a bonus to the hierarchy. I agree, Brett. I agree, my mate. If we go down, Farker is a proven Premier League flop. He needs us up to prove to everyone he can do it. I'd agree with that. I think when you've been promoted 3 times and got relegated every time, then you've got to be deemed a flop. Got to be deemed a flop. This is a massive opportunity for him to resurrect his career. Really is, and be considered maybe a Premier League manager. I think if we stay up, he should want to stay at Leeds. Yeah, he'll want to stay at Leeds. There's no guarantee he'll get another job in Prem. No guarantee. So, yeah, I agree. Clive he's superb at bringing the ball out from the back. Kyle, still unsure with DJ Matty. Just don't think he offers much. Maybe pace, but definitely plays out that we can get. Yeah, I agree. These plays out there are better than DJ. I think DJ's got something that defenders don't like at all. That's raw pace. I think as he gets older, and he tries to develop his game, you're probably going to find him end up, I think, in a couple of years as a wing back when he loses that bit of pace. But I think while ever he's still as raw as he is a threat, and a threat that defenders don't like. He's not only is he quick, he's unbelievably quick. His final ball and his decision making is better than it was. He's improved with age and maturity, but it's still not a finished article, and I'm not sure he ever will be. But I do like him and I do rate him. Stephen Mercer, are you doing a watch along on Saturday, Matt? I'll be honest with you, Stephen. If I don't go to the games, I'll always try and do one. But I want to go to a game. I haven't got a ticket yet, but I'm trying for a game, Stephen. So with me, if I'm at the game, you'll get match day vlog. I'll vlog the full day, full game, 20, 25 minutes, half an hour video. Plenty in there to watch. Score predictions from kids, trips at Peacock, everything. So it'll be a match day vlog and an instant match reaction with Priestley and Carr on way home. So you get 2 bits of content if I go to the game. If I out of the game, I'll do a watch along. But I prefer. I'm someone who's got a YouTube channel, prefers to go to the game, Stephen. I really could never. I could never turn down an opportunity to go to a game if it's presented to me to come and do a watch along. I love watch alongs. I'm actually really enjoying doing them at the minute. Loving that people are watching and engaging. Something I never thought I'd do, but I'm really enjoying doing them. But I'll be honest with you, Stephen, I love being at game, I love being at game. So as it stands, I'm trying to get a ticket and I probably will end up getting one. So if I'm on here, it means I've not got a ticket. I'll be quite sad. But yeah, thanks for caring, mate. Thanks for wanting to know. Top 8, getting the playoffs next season. Even I could get Leeds in the top 10 of the championship. Top 8 of the championship. Kieran, only takes one bad result to put us back in the relegation picture. We can't afford any slip-ups. Yeah, there's been a few slip-ups, but a major slip-up would be a loss now, wouldn't it? Late to the chat, says Lee Naylor. Hope you're all well, boys. I think Metcha will fly this. I've got a feeling you're going to see a really good Metcha for the last few games, Lee. I really do. I like what I saw yesterday as well. Thanks for that. Back to you, Matty Cuddles. Yes, come on. Let's have a squeeze, John. Let's have a squeeze. Sarcastic easy there. Is it true, Fark? Have some black coat he had at Norwich. I think Saturday should be perfect match to play Longstaff for his experience and the way he played last time at home. Yeah, I mean Longstaff's pushing for a start surely. We need upgrades on Dan James, Gruev, Nonto, etc. I can't disagree, mate. I think we've got to upgrade fair few spots. Love the vlog, Matt. Love that, Stephen. Thank you. Just got to love DJ. Right, guys and girls, 137 watching, 160 likes. Ghetto. Thank you so much for your support. An hour and 47 minutes. Mental art. What a nutcase. Yeah, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for everyone that's tuned in. I hope it's not been boring content. It was always going to be a back and forth with chat. You know how I do it. When it's me on my own, I just love to chat with you guys. If no one tuned in, it'd be the worst content ever. But yeah, there's my opinion on everything Leeds at the minute. Dan James or Manor Solomon. Solomon's a better footballer. I would rather have Dan James and Manor Solomon though. But that's probably the sentimental side coming in. Wolves first goal tonight shouldn't have stood. Wolves left back passed the ball to the keeper and he's just picked it up. Wow, where's the... I'll have a look at that, Morris. I'm going to go watch the highlights now, mate, and I'm going to get myself to bed. Up and back to Jimmy's tomorrow. Cheers, Matty. Thanks as always, South Stanley. Stephen Mercer, thank you so much. John, as always, Mr. Positive. Really appreciate that today. I needed a bit more positivity in my life, and there you were. Night all. Top guy, top show. Thanks, Luke. Cheers, Matty. Night all. All right, bro. Hey up, mate. I'm going now. You all right, bro? Any Rhinos fans? Go check out my brother. That's my brother Leeds Rhinos podcast, Mighty Rhinos podcast. He's only got a couple of subs, I think. So any Leeds Rhinos fans, go check out my brother at the Mighty Rhinos podcast. Give him a subscribe. He is my brother, Jordan. Big up, Matty, Shawnee, late to the party. I'm just getting off now. Tell you what, shall I play out of a song? Shall I play us out of a song? Shall we have a song? What shall we have? First and in chat. Scrapbook memories, white and gold. Imagine Not Being Leeds or marching on together. What are we going with? First and in chat. Come on, first and in chat. What are we going for? Cheers, Matty. Cheers, Michael. Who's first and going to be? I always go with first and in chat. Always. South Stanley says, yeah, I ain't got Usher. Yay. Can't be copyright. White and gold. There we go, Angela. Thank you very much. Obviously, passing Gary Speed's father this week, well, over the weekend as well. Sad news. But yeah, this is a song I wrote about 9 months ago. A lot of people know it by now. If you don't, you can go on Spotify and you can download it. Imagine Not Being Leeds on there. White and Gold is the album. There's a fair few songs on there. But yeah, I'll play you out with White and Gold, the ballad of Gary Speed. Thanks so much for everyone tuning in. Love you all a bit. Smash a like on your way out. And I'll see you at some point again this week. Bye-bye, everyone.
Gives Gary Speed a run. Away goes Speed. He's got a start on them all this time. Go on, Gary Speed. Get one yourself, son. And what a great goal.
He wore the white with pride and grace, a Yorkshire lion in his place. From Mellon Road to distant fields, a heart of steel, a soul that heals. He rose with youth, he led with might. Number 11 burning bright. The crowd would cheer, the cup would sing, for Speedo's magic on the wing. Oh, Gary Speed, you live on still, in every chant, on every hill. From Leeds to Wales, your story's told, a hero draped in white and gold. Oh, Speed, oh, we remember you, forever proud, forever true. Ooh, yeah. In 92, we touched the sky. Champion's dream, we watched it fly. With Batty striking and McAllister too. But Gary, we always look to you. You gave us hope, you gave us fight. You lit our darkest days with light. A gentleman, a warrior bold. Your legacy will never grow old. Oh, Gary Speed, you live on still, every chant, on every hill. From Leeds to Wales, your story's told, a hero draped in white and gold. Oh, Speed, oh, we remember you, forever proud, forever true. Fade, your name in stone will still be laid. At Ellen Road, your spirit walks in every match, in every talk. Oh, Gary Speed, you live on still, in every chant, on every hill. From Leeds to Wales, your story's told, a hero draped in white and gold. Oh, Speed, true, forever Leeds, forever you.